All right, Mr. Bristow, thank you for taking your time with us today. I appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you come back to Cushing Community Theater. I understand you're an alumni from Cushing, but tell us a little bit about your background.
Yes, well, I graduated from Cushing High School in 1958, and I'm sure there's still some people around in Cushing who remember Dora Hobbs, and Dora was my teacher and actually got me started in the theater. I went on to the University of Oklahoma for bachelor's and master's degrees. I also worked in broadcasting for a time. I worked at KUSH here in Cushing, and at a couple of other stations too. Um, I made my way to the University of Central Oklahoma, which wasn't called that at the time. It was Central State College, and it's changed names a couple of times. But eventually, I started in broadcasting there, teaching broadcasting. And then I managed to worm my way into theater and spent a total of 46 years at the university, mostly directing and teaching theater. I've directed, I guess, probably 100 or more plays at the university and elsewhere in the Oklahoma City area.
Very good. Well, I know it's exciting for people here in Cushing to have somebody back in the Cushing Community Theater leading the charge again to kind of bring this back to life and get some more production back on stage. So we're anxious to see your return here this week. How did you? I guess you were connected with the community theater just by knowing people around Cushing and connected that way. How did you come back to the theater here?
Well, it actually began several years ago when I came back for the 50th anniversary of the high school class, and was walking in the downtown Cushing area and noticed that there was a theater here. I don't know that I ever really knew that a theater had been put together for Cushing. And I looked through the website to see what they were doing and so on. And I noticed that they hadn't done anything really in several years. Something now and again, maybe a little children's show or something of that nature. And after I retired, I thought, well, I've got the time. Why don't I contact the folks at Cushing Community Theater and see if perhaps I can be of service. So I did. I contacted Walter Webb, and he gathered together some members of the theater and the board and so on. And we decided that hey, let's go for it. Let's put together a show. They asked me what I'd like to do, and I said, well, I've got several things in mind. But actually, we decided on See How They Run, which is an old show from the mid-40s. It's a British farce. It's one that has been done and done and done because it's a very, very funny show. And so I thought, well, here's something that the audience would enjoy. Here's something that the people in the cast would also enjoy doing.
Very well, and you can see that already. Just a few little bits of the rehearsal I've seen. They seem to be getting into their parts and doing a very good job. And it's kind of interesting just to kind of watch your style of direction too, how you're kind of interacting in the scene almost as the actors are rehearsing their lines and their movement on stage. So how is it at this particular show with this group of people? How has that worked for you so far?
Well, it's worked very well.
Yeah.
These people, of course, did not know me